Are you serious? Get a cup of coffee this morning. It has begun. And let me explain. Good coffee this morning. Folks, Isaiah 17 verse 1 says this word. This is the word. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. Now, you'll also need to turn your Bible to Jeremiah. That was Isaiah 17:1. Jeremiah 49, 4 verses. And then I'm going to read to you Camp David and NATO reports. Concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded, and Arpad, for they have heard evil tidings. They are faint-hearted. There is sorrow on the sea. It cannot be quiet. Damascus is waxed feeble. It turneth herself to flee, and fear has seized on her. Anguish and sorrows have taken her, talking about Damascus, as a woman that's in travail. How is the city of praise not left, the city of my joy? Therefore her young men shall fall in her streets, and all the men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord of hosts. And I will kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus. Are you serious, Paul? Have we got to this point? Let me go quickly to the G-8 summit being reported, and this is being reported not just by one news organization or another, but everybody in the world. As the G-8 summit took place at Camp David, President Barack Obama, and duly noted here that Russian newly elected President Vladimir Putin did not come to the meeting. He canceled his meeting with Barack Obama at the G8 summit, and of course, the NATO. He sent Dmitry Medvedevich because Putin is not ready to speak. He will speak on his own terms. And he knew that the dialogue of what was going to happen at the G8 summit and NATO was going directly against him. Now, here's what it says. G8 summit opened at Camp David as Iran and Syria, and I'll just show it to you. This is Fox News here, but you can. G8 summit opened at Camp David as Iran and Syria are among the topics. Now look, let's go here and read. Camp David, it says President Barack Obama and leaders of other major industrial nations grappled Friday with options to solidify world resolve against development of an Iranian nuclear bomb. That's number one. Number one on the agenda. Iranian nuclear bomb. Pastor John Hagee of, I believe, San Antonio, Texas, 5 years ago, wrote a book called Countdown to Armageddon, and basically said the number one crisis event that would face the known world would be an Iranian bomb. Why? Because of their ideology, because of their end-time theology, because of their belief. In the book they wrote called The Last 6 Months, which they gave out to every Iranian Revolutionary Guard soldier and thousands of civilians, teaches there has to be a Middle East war, a conflict so devastating, a missile maybe into the heart of Jerusalem, would create such chaos that in their opinion, that Allah would send back the 12th Imam, the Al-Mahdi, the Muslim Messiah, if you will, and dragging Jesus Christ along with him. And that this is their ideology. So, letting them have a nuclear bomb is absolutely insane. So, the development of an Iranian nuclear bomb was the number one priority and encouraged a more forceful response to the worsening violence in Syria. So it's Iran and Syria. Iran and Syria. Iran and Syria are the top objectives of G8. Obama will have the ear of the key players on both issues during these back-to-back G8 and NATO summits that he did this weekend. And they will be dominated with discussions of European economic woes as well as Afghanistan. Talks about Syria and Iran will be aimed directly and indirectly at Russia, a sometime protector of both Iran and Syria. Well, I'm just going to go on record. Not a sometime protector. They are a protector of both. And I've been saying for over a year that they will eventually sacrifice Syria to protect Iran. That's what I believe the Russian move will be. Chief blockade, they're in the way for stopping the United States goals as an arms embargo on Syria. Plummeting public support for the war in Afghanistan and political and economic chaos in Greece and Spain. So here you go. You got Syria crisis, the Iranian bomb, and the economic collapse that has begun in Greece and Spain as they're making a run on the banks there. We've been reporting these things to you guys for the last 2 weeks. It's very important why I started telling you about it, because it's in the Bible. The black horse of the apocalypse is carrying the banner of the destruction of the economy, and the red horse of the apocalypse is carrying the banner of war. And both go hand in hand. And the pale horse says death and hell shall follow. Folks, you've got to understand, this is the times we're living in. Greece and Spain, and also the fragile European economy, or the EU, remains after the austerity measures being taken there are not working. Most of the leaders are part of an overlapping international coalition formed to address the Iranian nuclear problem and the newer crisis in Syria, where an estimated 9,000 people have died. I've heard other reports as high as 11,000, and thousands have fled the country. And this has all happened in just a little over a year. Faced with the implacable Russian opposition to significant new United Nations punishments on Syria and its regime of President Bashar Assad, U.S. officials are trying to get consensus among other allies about ways to promote Assad's ouster. A senior U.S. official said one goal of the summit was a closed-door session with presidential retreat at Camp David as they sat down one-on-one with Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, that other nations are sharing the same feeling about Syria and Iran. Now, at a dinner that night, though, Obama did greet the world leaders and called the Russian leader, Medvedev, my friend, before the group went inside for dinner. Obama's trying. He's trying. Now, speaking of Syria, go to your Bible now in Jeremiah 49, and then I want to read to you what else has happened. Concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded. And just like I said, Damascus is waxing feeble. It's seized in fear. Why? Because of what Assad is doing to the people. But we've got breaking news out of Syria. Reports are coming that President Assad's brother-in-law was killed early Sunday morning. Al Jazeera cites that rebel leaders are saying that the Free Syrian Army Special Forces have killed Defense Minister Raja and the former head of the military intelligence, Asaf Kawat. As Syria TV is saying, Syrian opposition forces have killed several top officials in President Assad's regime. Among them, his brother-in-law. And here's just a picture of the actual explosion. This was that was the headquarters where they blew it up, and there you see the headline. So Damascus is in a destructive situation. That was recorded there by Al Jazeera is explaining that, but other reports as well. But I have not heard an absolute official report that Assad's brother-in-law is dead. It's about 80% that he is, but we will wait and just be 1,000% sure. I'm Paul Bagley. Give your life to Jesus Christ. I'm going to have a busy day. You need to be saved.